The story of John Owen and Richard Baxter is a really interesting one, a really human one. On the one hand, these are really giants of the faith, whom I admire enormously, both of them. On the other hand, when I look at their relationship and how it breaks down, I see far too much pride on both sides. To me, at its heart, this is a story about pride. So in Owen, I see someone who was just way too sensitive, who didn't take criticism kindly and who bristled when he was criticised or obstructed. And then you've got Baxter, who, in the way that he comes across, he just seems like, he's always right. He I won't say never, but he never thinks that he's wrong. He's always right. And those really are two very unhelpful qualities, especially when they come together in the same relationship. So I think they're a bit of a guide into how to think about pride and humility. I was once told that there is no problem in the world that cannot be solved with humility. And I think there's a whole lot of power in that. So if we think about Owen, we might ask ourselves, am I being too sensitive? Am I just taking this all too seriously? Am I making this all too much about me? Is that what's going on in a disagreement or conflict? On the other hand, we could ask ourselves, am I right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't see things clearly. Both of those, I think, take genuine humility to ask ourselves those sorts of questions and just bring ourselves back a little from launching into conflict. And then we might also ask, what's really going on? Because the interesting thing about the story of Owen and Baxter is that from the distance of the 21st century, I think I can see what was going on. They couldn't see it. Way too close, enmeshed in conflict. But there's a lesson there that maybe is there a way of just finding a little bit of space and objectivity for ourselves in conflict, to stand back and stand above it and to ask ourselves, do I really need to take a stand right now? And what's really driving me? What are my motivations? Very hard for us to know our own motivations. Very hard for us to know the motivations, even harder, of the other person. But let's look to our own and say, what's driving me? What's prompting me? What's going on inside of me that's feeding this conflict? And can I tamp that down? And I think all of that takes some humility to put ourselves in that position of thinking, maybe I need to question myself. When in conflict, the instinct is, I'm just going to question and challenge the other person. Humility, I think, will bring us back to ourselves.